God's help in surrendering their beautiful son, Toby, so soon into the eternal embrace of God. One question we might ask today is, what did Toby learn in this world? I think he learned that he had a mom and dad who loved him so much they would do anything to keep him safe and healthy. He learned what it is to be safe when his mom or dad held him in their arms and carried him about and smiled at him and fed him delicious food and tucked him in at night when it was time to go to bed. He learned what it is to have a brother and 5 sisters who wanted to make him happy. How many other little boys have an older brother and 5 sisters? He knew their smiles and how they liked to play with him and how they cared for him each day. Toby learned what family is, having grandmas and grandpas and uncles and aunts and cousins who were nice to him, all of whom showed him truthfully what heaven will be like. A great, unbelievable family. So many parents and children, grandparents, aunts and uncles and cousins who have cared for each other in this world. Toby learned what a beautiful world this is, with lovely trees and flowers and green grass and parks and mountains and lakes and rivers and oceans. Toby is ready to fit in with the beauty of this vast universe and the indescribable beauty of the home we will call heaven. Toby learned quite a bit about God, that God is someone who cares for all of us, who watches out for us and keeps us safe, who wants us to be happy. Toby learned this especially from his mother and dad. Only we must say this, that we come to know that God is a million times even more caring and loving than we are. He learned what delicious foods we have to eat. And while he might not have liked every vegetable that was put on his plate, I don't really know, or the taste of all the foods that we have, he learned that we are not meant to go hungry. And in heaven we will never be hungry with all that God gives us to nourish our hearts and make us happy. Toby was baptized in the hospital 2 days after he was born because of his precarious condition. Then later, here at St. Dorothy, on October the 8th of that year, 2016, the other ceremonies that go with the simple baptism were celebrated here. I do remember having that privilege to be with Toby and his family on that special day. Toby became a member of the mystical body of Christ, a great family of hope, love, and communion. At his baptism, he began the journey to everlasting life and toward a treasured place in God's eternal home. We believe in the mystery that we call the communion of saints. We believe that Toby has gone from our arms into the arms of those others, members of our greater family, the saints, who have welcomed him into the beautiful place where God lives, and there is no longer suffering or illness. St. John says in the second reading tonight, "Beloved, see what love the Father has bestowed on us, that we may be called the children of God. We are God's children now, and what we shall be has not yet been revealed. We do know that when it is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him.
Josie and Chasita didn't make it.
On Sundays, Toby really liked going to church, especially here in St. Dorothy. He wasn't able to get out much, partly to keep him safe, and partly because things were not easy to navigate with his stroller. He always got held when he came to church. He looked around at the Stations of the Cross and the lights and the stained glass windows. People would wave at him and smile at him. He did really well at Mass. He would only become a little restless and hungry by the end of the Mass, maybe if the priest had talked a little too long. Lots of parishioners knew and prayed for him even before he was born. Toby had lots of personality. While he could not talk, he smiled all the time. He rarely cried about anything. He was content. Even when he wasn't well, he still didn't cry. He was kind and loving. His dad liked to pick him up out of the stroller to help him not to have respiratory problems. His sisters would sing and dance in front of him, and that would make him laugh. He liked the sound of the 1-800 Cars for Kids commercial and music. He would sway at the beat, to the beat. And he liked the television program, The Joy of Painting, with Bob Ross. It's an older program which is, I understand, making a comeback. The painting that Bob Ross would do went slowly and deliberately, and Toby could see it unfold slowly, and he seemed to enjoy it. And Toby had a special liking for going out to the store. There's always interesting stuff at the store. And sometimes we get to bring good stuff home. I thank Sister Beth for giving me a lot of these notes. She talked with Michelle before we were ready for this Mass, and she shared these things with me. And she asked Toby's family, what will they miss the most about him? The girls will miss playing with him. His dad will miss his smile. His mom will miss him being a snappy dresser, buying boy clothes, and him being a good listener. So many will miss the effect that Toby had on people. If you had a problem and you picked him up, you began to feel better.